Welcome to another episode of Touchdown Labs. And today we got a special guest, and I'm going to surprise you guys. It's a current Cowboys player. Juanyeh is a free agent, so it's all good, but we hope that he's coming back. And Juanyeh, welcome to the podcast. Thanks so much for coming on, fam. I appreciate it. Before you even get to it, I want to show you guys something on the left side there. Los Angeles Fire Department Foundation. Me and Juanyeh linked up through this. So basically, I went ahead and donated to the organization. I know everybody in LA is going through a really, really hard time. I was just talking and chopping it up with Juanyeh for 2 minutes before we joined, and he's like, I didn't even think you would donate. And honestly, that's why I hopped on. So honestly, Juanyeh, I appreciate the support, man. Small content creator. I'm from Toronto, bro. So whenever you want to link up in Toronto and you need a spot to go to, let me know and I'll hook you up, bro. Thanks so much
Bet
for
that,
coming on.
bet that, bro. Thank you for having me, bro. And like I said, bro, thank you for donating because I really didn't think you was gonna do it, man. But that showed me that you a real stand up guy, bro. So thank you for that.
I appreciate it, man. So honestly, Wanye, I've been following the Cowboys a lot, and I'm thinking that since you're on here, a lot of kids are going to watch this. A lot of football fans are going to watch this. So honestly, I didn't want to talk all Cowboys. I wanted to talk about football, and I wanted to kind of get to know you and put that out there. And honestly, you're a special teams demon, bro. And I did my homework today, so I know you saw my notes and stuff that I'm going to go through. And
Yeah.
really, Bonnie, you started off playing football in Florida. Tell me how that was, and were you always a football guy? Was it something where you like basketball too? I know you played a little bit of ball, did some track. Let me know about that.
So I really started playing football when I was like 5, and then I loved playing it. But the funny thing about that is, my favorite sport was basketball. So I loved basketball all the way up till probably my sophomore year, and then I feel like my sophomore year is when I really started taking football serious, and then my sophomore year is when I had the 5 pick sixes and back to back games, and then that's when like colleges and stuff was calling my coach about me and all types of stuff. So that's when I started taking that serious, and then basketball became a secondary thing. But yeah, I've been playing ball since I was 5 for real.
Honestly, yo, that's pretty cool. So, like, you snapped during your season in football, and then you started getting like a lot of, probably scouts looking at you, people talking
Yeah,
about you. You talked about this, bro. National high school record 5 games with a pick six. That's what it was, right? You ran it back
yeah.
5 games in a row.
Yeah. That was crazy. That was crazy. Just thinking about that now. In the moment, you really don't feel nothing. But being like how many years? About 10 years removed from it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
crazy. It's crazy. So
Your teammates are probably hype, right? After like the third, fourth game, they're like, "Yo, Wanye's getting the next one," next game too.
yeah,
So that's
yeah,
fire, bro.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
8 interceptions that season, I think, right?
Mhm. Yep.
And you got 90-yard punt return, right?
Nice.
As well. So honestly, one, yeah, I want to talk about it because a lot of kids are probably going to watch this, a lot of football fans, and special teams is important, and
Yeah, facts,
I feel
facts.
like a lot of kids don't know, but special teams might be the route to a lot of kids making it to the NFL. You might be a superstar when you're a kid in high school and kind of going into college, but getting to that next level, it's knowing about what to do on special teams and really making your opportunity. And I think that's what you did kind of going into college. When I'm
Right.
reading up your stats here, you're leading your team in special team tackles the first year in 2018, and you're the first guy in school history to have 2 kickoffs returned that year as well, being so young. So, what are you going to say about special teams and kind of how that led to you getting that stardom, you would say, in football that early in your career?
So I would say, as a guy that always took special teams serious, special teams for guys like myself could be the way you make it. And I
Facts.
know a lot of kids now think think that's a lie or that's a joke, but I'm telling you, like, special teams could take you to the lead, and it could keep you in the lead, and not even just the league. College, you have to know your role because a lot of spots are taken up. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And your role is probably playing punt, kickoff, you know, kickoff return, like that's probably your role. So honestly, like, scouts and stuff look at people not only that can play defense and offense, but they look at people that can play special teams, and then the guy that plays all of the spots and can play their spot like their main spot, then those are the guys that scouts want on their team. And obviously, as a person that has went through it, I've learned much more now that special teams is so serious. So you got to take it serious.
One, is it true that it's harder to study that way? If you got that spot on defense and you're that guy and you really got to lock in, is it really hard to study special teams on top of all the stuff you're doing and learning football then, or is it not really that bad?
Nah, it's it's really not that bad because I mean, special teams is not that hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Obviously, you got a couple calls here and there, and you got to know what to do. But I feel like that's where you got to become a pro because you know what I'm saying. I've learned that now, getting snaps on defense and having to play teams too. So it's like you just really got to study at certain times. But I feel like everybody can do it. But if you don't study though, it's probably going to be hard. So
A lot of your plays, Juanyeh, they come off special teams, right? Punt
yeah.
returns, you making plays when you're on teams out there. And
Uh-huh.
that kind of led you to becoming that starting safety when you're at Tech, right?
Yeah.
You continued your success from special teams, kind of getting that safety spot, locking that down for a couple years, and then continuing to use your opportunities, get picks, get tackles for loss. 2021 was a serious year for you, man. That Miami game, you had nine
Oh yeah.
tackles here, one sack, one forced fumble. That shit was returned for a touchdown, another
Yeah.
1.5 tackles for a loss. This is a crazy game, bro.
Yeah. As I told with my fellow old teammate, like we always talk about that game, and I tell him like that is probably my best game at Tech that I've ever had. Like I was just out there just flying around, man, and that was probably my favorite game at Georgia Tech though, for real.
When you're a kid that's trying to get off of teams and you're trying to get a starting role, I'm just curious, at that time, what were you trying to make your identity? Like as a safety and kind of getting on the defense, who were you trying to be and what kind of player were you trying to model yourself after?
At the moment, to be honest, my freshman year, I really wasn't trying to model nobody because little do people know, my first time playing safety ever, like literally was my freshman year in college, and they actually moved me from corner to safety.
Okay.
So I really never really watched safety as much. I mean, I watched safeties in the league, but when I got moved to safety, I was just really trying to learn the spot down and then I could be like, oh, I want to play like this person. But I mean, to answer your question, you just really gotta master the safety spot down. And then like far as getting off special teams to play safety, like what really inspired me was accepting my role on special teams first and understanding even if you do become the starting safety, you have to love doing teams too.
Yeah.
And I feel like having that in the back of my mind and wanting to be on special teams as I'm starting on defense really helped me, and it really showed my coaches that I just wanted to play, you know.
Yeah.
And then like I said, scouts and coaches love guys that want to do more than what they should. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel like a lot of people are probably like, yo, why isn't this guy getting any inside information? This is the inside information, bro. For all you kids that are
yeah,
trying to make it in the league and trying to, like,
yeah,
figure out what you need to do to be successful, take advantage of your reps, right? And that's what I think we could say Wanya did on teams. And then going
yep,
into your last year, I'm just going to read this off here, bro. You had 12 games, I think you started, uh,
mm-hmm,
81 tackles, interception, two forced fumbles. That's leading to your combine invite. So you're getting
yes.
invited to the combine now. I wanted to ask you a question around working out. When you're working out in high school, you're going through college, what's that transition like? And then what's the transition of actually being like, okay, I'm invited to the combine now, and now I got to train for these specific drills?
I mean, obviously leaving college, having to train for the combine is it's different because you really don't do as much strength training. Like, I mean, the only thing you're really training for really is the bench test.
Okay.
That and then obviously strengthening your legs and trying to get fast. But that process from leaving college to the combine was, I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of hard for me because it was my time now to like grow up, and I didn't have my mom with me.
All right.
I didn't have nobody with me. I just had to come up here and train, and I'm training 6 days a week. My only off day was on a Sunday. You had to get into a process of taking care of your body.
All right.
You just gotta like do a whole bunch of stuff, and you gotta keep doing it. And then you're really just training for the combine and I played in the Strongbow too, so I was training for both. But yeah, man, that was really the process for real.
I seen that your brothers played in college too. Do you feel like that
Yep.
experience helped you and kind of helped you with that transition and getting ready for that?
Well, I mean, I am the middle child, and then I have an older brother that went to college before me, and then my younger brother is actually in the draft this year. So I'm
He's
the middle
playing.
child.
He's coming from Florida too, right? The
Florida
Seminoles
State, yeah.
or the
Florida
state?
State, yep,
Okay.
yep,
And
yep.
do you feel like your experience in the combine will help him in terms of like getting him ready and stuff like that?
Definitely, because I'm already giving him the insight of what's gonna go on,
Yeah.
what you got to do, what you got to know. But you know what I'm saying? He's a smart kid, so I don't really got to tell him much. But I'm just telling him the stuff that I learned, and I feel like he gonna have a great combine. So.
Anything you would do differently now, kind of looking back at how you trained or looking back at your diet and stuff like that? Or were you always one of those guys that was super serious into what you're doing and you
Yeah,
made sure
yeah.
you're locked in?
Yeah, I wouldn't change nothing for real, because I mean my process was like top tier.
Yeah.
I try to do everything right. I think the only thing I would tell myself is just to relax a little bit.
Wanya, can you actually take me through like a day of your workout routine, kind of what that's like, maybe in season and now what you're doing in the off season?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously in season we are in the building from 7 to 5.
Okay.
Uh, we're in the building from 7 to 5. We come in, lift. We have a team meeting. After the team meeting, we have different meetings, and then after those meetings, we have a walkthrough. After the walkthrough, we have practice. After practice, we shower, we eat, and then after that, we have a meeting. And then after that meeting, we go to another meeting. After that meeting, we have another walkthrough, and then we're done. You know what I'm saying? So this is nothing but film and walkthroughs for real, and like it's like a repetitive thing every day and every week. So
Okay. And then what about the off season now when you got some time off? Are you trying to focus on getting better at like one thing?
yeah,
Is it you deciding like, hey, I want this area to focus in and I'm gonna work out here or train
yeah.
here? How does that work?
I mean, I already know the place that I train at and stuff, but it really starts when the season is over with. I take a break. I take a
Yeah.
break for a little bit. So
Which is well
so
deserved, right?
right, and right now I'm taking a break. I just do PT, working on my knee and stuff. PT and stuff, just taking care of the body, trying to get my body back healthy.
Yep.
And then like when I do get back in my everyday routine, I will go to my training place. I train maybe for like an hour and 30 minutes. Get my diet right, get my juices right for the week.
I love to hear that you're juicing, bro. Like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
real juicing,
yeah, yeah,
that's sick. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. So I mean, it's really a simple thing. For I wake up, workout, shower, take care of the body. I do physical therapy for 2 hours, and then I just try to do that every day for real.
Honestly, you avoided a scary injury, right? I was a little bit worried when you got carted off, and
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
tore my ACL myself, man, kind of playing football, and I tore my ACL, my MCL, and PCL. So I had to get my knee reconstructed, and I know what that's like, bro. So when you're telling me you're doing PT, trust me, you're gonna come back stronger. And honestly, I'm gonna put my plug in here now. I'm hoping that you come back to the Cowboys. You've been killing it
yeah.
every single time you got an opportunity.
Thank you,
Game-winning
thank you.
interception in the preseason, give you an opportunity your first game to start at New York. You blocked that
Mhm.
punt, right? So I was at the game. It was the first game I took my wife to, and that was sick to see. And she knows who you are because of that. So it's fire. But
Yes,
now
sir.
getting into like the family stuff, Wanya. I know you just had a son, so congratulations on that.
Thank you, thank you.
That's
Yes, my
sick. That's
love,
sick that
man.
you got him on
My
the
love,
chain
man.
there.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
I was on your live the other day. I saw him come on. He looks mad cute, bro. But
thank you, thank you.
what's that like in terms of like, having a family now, being a young dad, changing your process? Is your wife following your routine? Does she care about going to work out with you? I'm married too, so I'm trying to get my wife in the gym every
Yeah.
day. So like I'm just trying to hear about the family side of it too.
Yeah, man. Obviously, my lady makes everything easy. She doesn't add any stress to me.
Yep.
She knows my routine, and she works around my routine. And she obviously, or she actually wakes up herself and goes to work out with the baby while I'm taking care of my body and stuff. So
That's
I
dope.
mean, Yeah, man. She makes it easy, and then being a young dad, man, I take that serious because you know what I'm saying. I wanted to be a young dad so I can grow up with my son and still feel young.
Yep.
Um, it's fun and man, it's just a blessing, man. For real, for real.
I
I
know what you
love it.
mean. You want to be one of those dads that grows up, you go to your son's games, so football
Yeah,
around with
yeah,
him, you're still
yeah,
fit enough to, beat him in ball for the next 10 years up until he's like 10, 15. Then you let him take over. But I
yeah,
totally get it, bro.
yeah, man.
Um,
I love it, man.
I want to talk about one year your experience coming in as a undrafted free agent. So your road to the NFL wasn't a typical kid who's going to get drafted in the first or second round, have like one
Right,
of those guaranteed contracts. You have to work for every single ounce of playing time that you got. So as somebody who's taken that road, which I respect a ton, signed to the practice squad, then you're getting an opportunity to play in the game. You're making. We talked about teams. Uh, I want you to talk about Bones a little bit and Coach.
uh,
And I know he's gone now, but Coach was really kind of pushing up for you on teams, and I know he
yeah,
gave you opportunities. And even that Washington game, Week 12, where you ran that in, I know every single fan is like, we don't even care that this guy didn't drop on the ball. We're down for you to run that in, bro. So
right, right.
talk about your experiences coming in as a undrafted free agent and maybe kind of working your way up on the roster and taking advantage of every single opportunity you had.
Yeah, man. See, the thing is, I really didn't plan. Excuse me. I really didn't plan to go undrafted because
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying my draft grade was different. So when I did not get drafted, that kind of switched up everything. That kind of switched up my mindset. And I'm not gonna lie, at the
Hmm.
moment, it felt like hell, and I was crying.
I could imagine. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know what the next move was. I knew teams would like want me to come sign with them, but I wanted to get drafted, you know.
Yep.
Um, but coming in, signing with Dallas, man, it was the best decision I made because in my first year I didn't play. I was on practice squad, and that really showed me and humbled me. It was like, yeah, man, you can go from being up here, but you got to get humbled. So I got humbled my first year, and it just made me more hungry. And then coming to my
Yep.
second year, I promised myself, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be on this roster. I don't know how, but I'm gonna be on the roster. You know what I'm saying? I came in, busting my tail. Camp, I had one of the best camps ever.
Yep. We
Um,
seen it too
made
as
it big
fans, bro.
three.
Yep.
Yeah, and then man, everything was uphill from there. So man, but I really appreciate the process that I had to go through to get to where I'm at now. Though.
I feel like that made you a better person, better player, probably worked on your routine a lot more. And
Yep,
now you have a lot more confidence, right? That you're like,
yep,
yo, I can do this going forward. Um, how is training camp in California? How is it going out there in the weather and kind of going through that experience?
man. Listen, going to California for camp is the best thing ever, man. One, where we're at, it doesn't get past 76. So I mean, it's what I'm saying. It feels good. It doesn't rain or anything during camp. It's just a good location for us to step away from the heat. Obviously, it's kind of hard, you know what I'm saying, leaving your family and stuff and that. But I mean, I get my family to come out there with me. So, but
Yep. Yep.
yeah, that's the only downfall of it is people leaving their family back in Texas.
Do
But
you feel like it kind of builds that camaraderie around the team more because you guys are
yep,
together and you're not dipping at nighttime. You guys are all chilling together, building that
yep.
team chemistry, and the new guys are able to kind of lock in with you guys faster.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It just builds the bond with the team because at the end of the day, we are the only people that we know there in Cali. So it's like we are gonna be around each other every single day in meetings, practice, and
Yep.
stuff, and it just helps us, you know what I'm saying, bond well.
Got a couple more things for you, Wanye, and then I'll let you go. But I want to talk about Coach Fossil. Like, if you were to say you'd take one thing away that you learned from him, what would you say it is?
One thing I learned from Coach Bones is it doesn't hurt being a great person. You know,
Okay, I love that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Bones was one of them coaches that coached us. He told it to us straight. He didn't sugarcoat nothing. But at the end of the day, you are going to know that Bones love you,
Yep.
and and he treats everybody the same. Literally, like he doesn't treat nobody better than the next man because he knows how much work everybody is putting in, and he loves the practice squad guys more harder because he knows the hard work it takes to get to where they're at. One, and then two, how much harder it is just being a practice squad guy because it kind of requires more, you know. So yeah, Bones is a great coach, great dude, great father, and a great husband to his wife. Man,
I feel like
Bones
that's
is
super
my dog.
underrated, what you just said
Yeah,
there, right? Great man, great father, great husband to his family. You know, it's hard playing football. You guys are away from your family a lot, right? So you got to make every moment with them count. And
yeah.
honestly, Wanya, I want to talk about this last thing here, week 12. You know, catch that onside kick to win the game. Are you guys hyped that you're playing Dan Quinn? Are you guys hyped to like, you know, get that
Uh,
dub? Tell me what it was like in the locker room after that when you're running off the field and you're winning the game like that.
Man, listen, everybody was happy, but one of my favorite moments was looking at CD. Like CD was running,
Yeah.
and then when I get in the locker room, CD had he had dapped me up and said, "Look, that was raw, but next time go down." And we started laughing, and the reason he said that though was because CD did the same thing his rookie year too. So that's what's so funny about it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was great, man. Just to see the smile on those guys' face. That was probably the most fun game I think for a lot of people.
Yeah, the season was tough, man. But honestly,
Yeah,
I'm hoping Wanye that things turn around. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping
sure,
you come back too. I know all the fans are rooting for that as well. So yo, link up with me whenever you're in Toronto. When I'm in Dallas, I'll try to link with you, man. I appreciate everything. Before you
sure.
dip here, can you give me some predictions for the weekend in terms of what's going to happen with the championship games?
Let's see who played Washington and the Eagles.
I know it's probably killing all Cowboys fans to see these guys in the
Man,
championship game, but it is
yeah,
what it is, bro.
I got I got Washington winning.
Okay. And then
I think
against
it's
the
gonna be a
Bills and
close one
Chiefs.
though. Bills and Chiefs. Somehow, some way, the Chiefs gonna pull it out at the end. Maybe overtime. Defense gonna get both stops, and it's gonna come down to a field goal and overtime.
Honestly, I'm gonna be honest, one. Yeah, I really want the Bills to win. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but Josh Allen's
Yeah,
just gonna have to do it himself, and he's been doing it himself this season. I got to give him props for
yeah,
that. This
yeah,
guy's been carrying the team.
yeah.
Um,
Fact.
Wanya, I want to thank you so much for coming on, bro. I appreciate all the time that you spent with us. Like I said, I donated to Los Angeles Fire Department Foundation. If you guys are
Appreciate it.
watching this and can donate as well, we'd appreciate it. Lots of people in LA need that. And I'll keep in touch, bro. I hope you sign
Got you,
back
man.
with the boys. And
Sir.
whenever you're down to link up, hit me up. And thanks so much for doing this.
Got you, man. Thank you, bro.
Appreciate it.